just 1 week away from the official start of the 2018 MLB playoffs. So I thought it'd be a little fun to play a nice little game of buy or sell. What do you guys think?
Nate, I think it's great. Although I have not taken a business class here, I think I understand how buying and selling things work. So I'm ready to go.
Good, because that's more than I know.
They were probably a year or two away from really coming to fruition. But sometimes when you have these young teams, they kind of blossom more quickly. And they'll outperform now, and then they'll probably plateau down the road. I'm going to sell, and I might regret this, but I'm going to sell this year. There's a lot of, I don't want to say question marks, but I just think there's better teams than the Braves. They're a very solid team. They've proven that from April all throughout the year. I'm going to sell, but buy in them for later, a couple years down the road.
So you're going to make a future investment?
I'm making a future investment, yes.
Okay. I'm going to sell as well. As a Phillies fan, I'm very upset that I have to deal with this team for the next decade. They have a lot of great pieces, not only at the major league level. Their farm system is still stacked. So they're going to be very good for a long time to come. But this is not their year. As you said, there's more talented teams. I think pitching is their main weak point. They have Fultonevich and not much else. So I'm going to sell this year. But as you said, the next few years, they're going to be right there.
I think they're just going to be happy to make it this year. And if I'm a Braves fan, I'm satisfied with that. First time since 2012, 2013.
Yeah, 13.
So I'll take it.
I'm going to buy.
You go first.
I'm
You're
going to buy. I'm going to buy on the Brewers.
Convince me why.
The pitching is an issue, right? I think that they have a very good bullpen, though. And we know that in the postseason, it doesn't matter how good your starters are. It matters how good your bullpen can be and how good they can be consistently. They have Josh Hader, Corey Knebel. They have a ton of great arms in that pen. And I think combined with their offense, they can definitely make a run.
The pitching was my main concern. I'm going to sell again because I think there's better teams in the National League than the Brewers. Do I think that this team's like the Braves were set up for a good future? I mean, I think their window's a little smaller. Again, we talked about it in other sports, how it's hard to win in a small market like Milwaukee. I don't think they have enough to beat the Cubs or the Dodgers. They're on the same level as the Rockies. But I'm going to sell, but it's like a iffy sell. Because if they just had maybe one or two other pitchers in the rotation, Ryan, I would buy them. But it's just too much for me, especially in a postseason environment when starting pitching is stretched beyond belief. Going to sell them as well. Again,
yeah, I can see that.
There's one team that I think is going to win the National League. Do I like the Rockies? Yes, they're really hot, especially in the second half of the season. They have all facets of the game, Ryan, at least in my eyes. But I just don't think they have enough.
I'm going to buy. I really like their team this year.
But do you trust that cold weather, high altitude environment? Because this is we've seen this team get in the playoffs a couple times before, and they made it to a World Series, yes, but outside of that, there's not really too much postseason pedigree or success. And I think the atmosphere plays a lot into it.
Yeah, so they had Rocktober last year, right, for 1 day.
1 day.
And that's all it lasted for. I'm not saying that's experience, but I like the team they have this year. I think they're a more deeper team than they were a year ago. I like them more than the Dodgers. Out of the NL West, I'm going to buy Colorado.
I'm buying the Dodgers. I think that last year was not a fluke because we look at the Dodgers in past years, oh, well, this is a team that has so much talent and they spend so much money and they lose in the NLDS or NLCS every single year. And then they went to the World Series last year and took the Astros deep and really had a chance to win on a couple of occasions. I like the Dodgers this year to make a deep run, at least in the National League. They returned most of that team. I really like the way they've been playing over the past month, especially in a division where Arizona controlled it for a very long time, and then teams like Colorado and LA kind of surged up through at the end. So I really like the Dodgers.
I'm going to sell. I think last year was a fluke. This team, as long as I've been alive, has never shown me anything in the postseason. I don't think that changes this year. It's a sell. I'm going to buy the Cubs. I like them as well as the Brewers and the Rockies. Obviously, they have the experience. They just won a World Series a couple years ago. They've kind of been under the radar this year at times, but they have the experience, and that cannot be understated. They still have the bullpen. They have the great pitching staff, the offense that can contend. So I'm going to buy the Cubs.
I think the Cubs are the National League favorites. Javi Baez, I mean, what he's done this year has been incredible. You look at some of the acquisitions at the deadline, Ryan, you got to admire what Cole Hamels did when they brought him in. They're the most complete team in my eyes. And again, you mentioned under the radar because I think we're past the fact that we're shocked that the Cubs are good now because they've been good for at least the amount of time that you and I have been, at least at the collegiate level, really since our freshman year. So we're past the point when we're shocked about them being good. So they've been under the radar. They have the most complete team, I would argue, maybe in the entire Major League Baseball realm. So I love Javi Baez. I love everything on their pitching staff. So I'm going to buy the Cubs really to win the National League.
Easy sell.
Easy sell.
Yeah,
They're
nothing to say there.
they're not worth our airtime. They're not. I realistically think they're going to lose to Oakland in Yankee Stadium. Out in Oakland, I don't care. Oakland's exponentially better than the Yankees.
Yeah,
They have too many question marks.
Yeah, I can definitely see it.
And Gregorius getting hurt changes everything for them too.
Easy
Buy or
sell. Easy sell.
Do not start this. We do not have the time.
I'm
Yeah,
not.
we
It's
do.
a
Let
fact.
the
I'm not
time-
trying to start anything.
Why are they a sell?
I don't trust them.
Why
Matt.
are they? Why don't you trust them?
I think the offense is. It's going to go a little cold. I don't trust your
But
bullpen. The
it
pitching
hasn't
staff
went
is a
cold.
little questionable.
It hasn't went cold since. They've
Yeah, but
won
you know-
105 games. They've only lost like 51. Ryan, I feel my blood pressure going up, and I mentioned on an earlier segment, it's going to kill me by 30, but it might kill me tonight with some of the takes that I've heard. I really don't understand how you can sell on a team that's won 105 games, has two players that could be in the MVP conversation, has one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball, and Chris Sale. Oh, well, he's got arm problems. Is he going to be injured? This, that, and the other thing. I don't care how much stress he has on his arm. He could throw 5 innings for me, and I'll be satisfied because I'm not as concerned about the pitching staff as everyone else. I'm not concerned about the offense as everyone else because they're the best team on paper in the league.
I hear a lot of bias in what you're saying
It's
right
not
now.
biased.
You're not being objective, Matt.
I am being objective. Look at the stats from Betts. Look at the stats from Martinez. They're both MVP caliber players.
What does that mean in the postseason?
That means that you have two of the most valuable players in the league playing on your field at the same time in the same lineup.
I think that no matter, you can do great in the regular season, Matt, right? You can win over 100 games. That doesn't matter in the postseason. You have told me on the record that you're expecting to lose in the ALDS. So you're still going to buy on the.
I am buying hard on the Red Sox.
They're not going to get out of the ALDS. They're lucky they don't have to play in the wild card game because they could have lost there too. This team is not making the ALCS. They're not deep enough.
Strike me down, God. Strike me down.
That's an easy buy for me. Oakland has done phenomenal this year. Matt will tell you, I said back in March
You did?
that this team was one to watch. They were going to be a sleeper team. And I got ridiculed. I was told, oh, there's no way they're going to finish
Did I
that
ridicule
high.
you?
Yes. We can go back to the tape. You said there is no way they're going to finish that high in the AL West. I like the Angels better. I like the Astros
I did
better.
not say the Angels.
Yes, you did. You said
Get
they were a
outta
sleeper.
here.
Stop it. No, stop it. Yeah, you did. You can go back to the tape.
Well, I think that was at the time when we lost the tapes because of like the media
Weird.
being wiped.
Weird. Yeah, it's weird.
I really don't remember that. But go ahead.
Oakland has
yeah, the great
an
media wipe.
incredible lineup, right? You could argue they have one of the top 5 lineups in all of baseball. Defensively, they're phenomenal. They're arguably the best defensive team, too. Love their pitching staff, especially next year when they get some of their guys back. It's an easy buy for me. I think they could definitely make the ALCS this year.
I agree with everything Ryan said. I'm going to buy the Athletics. I will eat my words because in March, MLB.com came out with this thing that said Oakland had a top 10 lineup. I didn't buy it at the time. I really needed to see the play on the field, and it really, I guess it was kind of like late June, early July when they really kind of heated up a little bit. They had that really good stretch at one point offensively. I love Oakland. I think that no matter where the wild card game is going to be played, they're still not technically out of the division with Houston, but I feel like a lot's going to have to go in that for that to change. But with Oakland, they're easy lock over the Yankees in the wild card, and they're a dangerous team. I'm going to buy their pitching. They're probably the team that scares me the most in the American League. They have 4 incredible pitchers that all threw for over 200 strikeouts in a season. Bauer, Carrasco, Kluber, and Clevenger were the 4. They have a solid lineup. They're a very solid team all around. And this is a team that 2 years ago beat the Red Sox in 4 games, and they challenged, obviously, the Yankees, and they ended up blowing it, losing in 5 last year. But this is a team that has really good pitching, and in October, that matters a lot. So I am going to buy on Cleveland.
You can't oversell how important pitching is, as Mr. DeLuca has mentioned. Cleveland's kind of been able to coast by this year because they've been in an awful division. But I still think they have the experience, they have the talent, they have the right manager for the situation. I'm going to buy them. I think they can definitely make a deep run.
It would be hard to sell in the defending World Series champions, Ryan. Their offense is great. They have solid pitching, again, with guys like Garrett Cole. They went out and got in the offseason. What?
No, nothing.
I'm trying to rush my point here.
Awesome.
I'm going to buy the Astros.
I'm going to buy him too.
We're all buying the
Nice.
Astros? You saw it here, ladies and gentlemen. Historic agreement. Let the festivities begin in a week. MLB playoffs are going to start soon. Thank you for tuning in to the Extra Point tonight. And as always, we hope that you get the point.